Cheers.
Hey, girls.
It's Wine About It Wednesday. And of course, we brought a cute bottle for Wine About It.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. This has so many craft possibilities.
This is a little dry, though.
Well, it's a little dry for a rosé, but it's good dry. It's French. It's called Brightens rosé.
It's perfect, too, because today we're talking about blush.
Ah!
This kind of looks like the blush that I always wear, which is Cedar Rose. I mean, come on, you kind of see it.
We planned it.
Warm. I like this. I would totally splash this on my face.
I was kind of looking between this and the Zinfandel in the blue bottle, and I was like, oh no, we have to go with the rose.
We need something very blushing today.
How are you guys? It's so good to see you.
I know. I want to say hey to everyone. So, hi, Michelle.
Oh,
we're so excited you're on here.
Always Michelle. We can count on Michelle.
And don't forget, do you have your glass of wine with us?
We count on that.
Here, cheers to Michelle.
To Michelle.
All right.
And her fabulous ideas. You've given us some wonderful ideas, girl.
Absolutely. So today we're talking all about blush. We're going to go over why do you even need to apply blush? Do you need to apply blush?
Because, there was this thing that went on a few years ago where everybody was saying, don't do blush, do your highlight, do your contour. And that was, I blame the Kardashians.
Yeah. They definitely had that whole trend going.
And no, because when I do it, I put on foundation. And when I put on foundation, it's like my face looks like Flat Stanley.
Right. Yeah, because you're applying one shade to your face, which is totally unnatural. I just look like a ghost. Because, I don't really worry about getting it on my lips either. I kind of just press and go because I want to do it fast and in a hurry. So, when I apply foundation, sometimes I giggle at myself because I'm like, oh, imagine if this is
your features just disappear and you go flat.
Yeah, completely flat.
Yeah. So, if you're not all sculpted and whatever and ready to contour your brains out or highlight your brains out or bake your brains out or whatever, a little bit of blush goes a long way to making you look younger and healthier and fresher.
And today we're also going to go over the do's and don'ts of blush.
Excellent.
So we're going from A to Z when it comes to blush and everything you need to know, how to apply, what shades to be applying, and we're doing it all. So be prepared, get ready, grab your glass of wine, and we're going to start with, what shade are you wearing?
I don't know, Sarah, what shade? You guess what shade I'm wearing.
I recommended this shade for her to wear today because we were both like, what shade should we wear today? Because, it's all about blush. We wanted to have the perfect shade and really emphasize it. So you are wearing soft rose and I am wearing cedar rose, which is the cool and the warm. They're both on the more lighter natural side. So if you are a warm season like me, cedar rose is amazing. I know I talk about it all the time. It's my go-to blush. So you've heard me say it before, but I absolutely love the color. It's what I'm wearing now.
May I add something to that? Sarah is very fair. She's got porcelain skin. She's very fair. And if you were to look at cedar rose in the compact, you would say, wow, this is quite colorful. This has quite a bit of color.
This is the shade.
But one of the things about our blushes that I love, and this is not a plug, it's just a fact. These blushes are more like pigment powders because they are very sheer. So someone like Shara, someone like Sarah.
Too much drinking already.
Yeah, let me take another sip. Someone like Sarah, who's very fair, can apply this color and have her skin tone shine through. At the same time, if you need to layer on more color, this product will allow you to do that because it's pigment powder. It's not a lot of talc. It's not a lot of filler. It's just finely milled, French pressed, beautiful pigment powder.
And another thing that I want to mention is this product is pressed. So when we talk, there's differences in presses. Like if you go to a drugstore, you're going to not have as hard of a press, which means
softly pressed.
Yeah, if you ever run your brush through and all of the powder falls off and it kind of just shows up on your clothes and things like that, that means it's not a hard pressed powder.
Also, if it in your purse splits into X's and Y's and all sorts of little pieces, and then you have to go online and do it yourself, make it back into a cake. And
right. Now, that's not what this is. This is a very hard pressed powder, which means that if you apply, you're not going to overly apply this product. So when you are dusting your brush into it, there's no fallout. Let me just make sure it's all attached to your brush. And you have to, if you were gonna go full blown, I'm gonna put a big pink circle on my cheek, you would really have to work at it. This is made to be easy for anyone to apply, and it's not going to give you an intense payoff unless you build it. So,
and I'm going to go off topic here. Sarah's going to smack my hand. But have you ever noticed that sometimes we of a certain age tend to overdo our blush? Mm-hmm. And I've told people that, I think at retirement age, we lose the rods and cones in our eyes and we just cannot see color, and we tend to just slap it on our faces and look a little overdone with big red pink lipstick and big blush. This prevents that. And we even have a hack for you today that if you make a little bit of a blush mistake, we got you, girl.
Yeah. We're going to go over that in our do's and don'ts. We have an entire list. If you accidentally over apply blush, we're going through all of it. So it's important to be wearing your blush just to kind of give you that brighten, that natural, that fresh appearance. You don't want to look like a vampire or, like Twilight, where they just, no color to the skin. We want to bring a little light.
But at the same time, you don't want to look like a mime on the street.
Right, like a clown with big red cheeks. Don't want to do that either. We need to find the happy medium right in there so we can look natural and beautiful.
And healthy. The point about this, and the reason you look so youthful, and Sarah told me not even to mention this, but I'm going to mention it, is that naturally, we as young adults, we flush. Our cheeks flush, in all sorts of situations that, when we are blushing in front of a guy. For me, the guy is over 60, so I don't blush anymore. But Sarah, she may blush in front of her husband or whatever. And that's a sign of youth. It's a sign of vigor. So we want to make sure that we've got a little bit of color in our cheeks. And that will make us look more youthful.
And something that is so funny that when you say that is whenever I would go into work without blush, like sometimes I just kind of roll up with my foundation and like maybe some concealer. But if I show up without blush, she's always like, "Are you feeling okay today?
What's wrong?
You look really pale. Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh man, I must have forgot my blush." So, blush can really just bring color, depth, dimension back into your face and really just brighten you up and make you look radiant and healthy and glowing. So it is absolutely important to always apply your blush. Just what we were talking about earlier, that whole trend where it was like super chiseled cheeks and white powder up here, it just made you look unnatural. It gave you great cheekbones, but it made you look so unnatural and caked on makeup. You knew that you weren't shining, you didn't have any color shining through on your cheeks. So it's really important to really, if you're going for that natural glow and that natural look to your skin, it's important to apply your blush and make sure you
look healthy and youthful. And that's really what it's all about, looking healthy and youthful. And some people can look youthful, but even when Sarah, who is beautiful and youthful, puts a full face of foundation on her face, she doesn't look healthy anymore. Right. She has to reapply a little bit of color to her cheeks to look healthy.
Absolutely critical. And that's why it's something that we wanted to bring to you guys today. I know we get a ton of questions about what shade to wear as well, but making sure that you're applying is the first step. Now, I think wearing the right shade is also extremely important, because if you're wearing the wrong shade, it can make your skin look sallow. It can also make you look unhealthy. So one of our first do's that we have today is do apply the right shade.
And in your season.
Right. And to do that, you need to know what your season is, because if you go into Color Me Beautiful, we have it all laid out for you. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. It's the different shades that you can wear. So if you don't know your season, go ahead, hop on over to Color Me Beautiful, take the Color Me Beautiful color quiz, and it will lead you to your season, and it will tell you the right shades that you should be wearing.
Not to overcomplicate this, because primarily you want to make sure that if you are a warm season, that is red or golden highlights in your hair,
saturation,
lots of saturation in your skin, warmer eyes. You want to select a foundation that is going to be a little bit warmer, and so that it will look like your natural flush. If you were to pinch your cheeks and look in the mirror, that's the color that you want to choose.
So I have some of the shades here with us right now. So for our warmer seasons, we have Cedar Rose, which has been an all-time favorite. It's been with the brand for...
that's because it's your all-time favorite.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere. I absolutely love that shade. I need it in my life. I need a natural blush. So we have Cedar Rose, which is what I'm wearing right now. Wine. Next we have Allspice. Love this shade. This is, if I'm going out, I grab this one just because if you're wearing a lighter shade and you do more of a dimensional look, maybe a deeper lipstick, the lighter shade is just going to not be as harmonizing for you. So
and it's going to be harder to layer it up to the depth of color you're going to want.
Now, a shade that all seasons can wear is our Natural Veil. The shade is amazing. It's new, our newest shade, and it's a bestseller now. So Natural Veil, it has a hint of shimmer in it if you're looking for a little bit of oomph.
Dew?
Yeah.
You do.
A little, like, highlight effect, kind of. And then moving to the cool seasons, we have a decent amount of cool out there for you. We have our Soft Rose. This is what you are wearing right now currently. Love this shade. If you are in summer or winter, every day, this is going to be your go-to, I promise. And then we also have Sweet Appleberry. Let me open this up for you. So it has a little bit more depth and color to it. I'm going to compare.
And maybe even a little less blue, a little more toward neutral, which is really wonderful for someone who isn't as cool as some. And maybe you're kind of in between and you're not really sure. Or maybe you're still rocking the browns.
If you're a summer, either one of these are going to look beautiful. So we have Soft Rose, Sweet Appleberry, and then I'm going to move into more of our winter shades, which are Mulberry. I'm going to pop this open before I drop this. Sorry, didn't want to drop it.
Yeah, I don't want to complicate things, but remember, if you're one of my Snow White winners, those that I often refer to, where you have the porcelain skin that's cool, like as light as Sarah's, you want to choose a lighter blush. So winners kind of run the gamut. So you can choose some of these lighter blush shades.
So in my hand right now, I have Mulberry and I have Soft Plum. So your winters out there, you have great options as well. So if you're in need of something in your season, these are easily laid out. If you have a product that you have at home and you want to just know, email or send us a message, we'll be happy to help you out and let you know. I mean, these are just easy because we've already designated what season would look great in them. So you have your options right here as well.
The lighter shades are probably a lot easier to apply because you get a lot more opportunities to layer and get the depth of color that you're looking to get. The deeper shades, if you're pro and you want to just go right to the va-va boom.
Check these out. All right, so our next do apply to the right spot on your cheek. That is so important. Now, Wayne Goss.
Love him.
He's our go-to. He taught us this rule.
Adorable guy. It's the two. Well, first of all, he has a couple of rules that I think are so awesome. One is my favorite. My personal favorite is how to find your cheekbones because I haven't seen my cheekbones in maybe 40 years. And so I love his how to find your cheekbones, which he does this cool thing where he says, locate your ear with your thumb.
So we're talking top of your ear.
And then bring your finger down to your nose and what's underneath there. Oh, wow. There is my cheekbone.
You're pretty much punching your cheekbone.
Yeah. So if, like me, you haven't really had a relationship with your cheekbone for a long time, there it is.
It's more like a friend relationship, not a best friend relationship.
Yeah, it's like an acquaintance.
Yeah.
So you do that, you'll find your cheekbone under there. Now that's important because what you want to do is make sure that you apply your blush somewhere in the vicinity of your cheekbone. Now, Sarah has the second Wayne Goss rule, which is the two-finger rule.
Absolutely. All you have to do is apply it right next to your nose, and don't bring your blush past this point. Keep it further back, because what we don't want to do when we apply blush is drag our face down. The blush is made to naturally lift, not drag down. So this is the no-go area. Keep your blush right in here and blend. So,
and remember, our big, gigantic tip that we tell everyone is everything you do, you want to lift, 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 lift. So the same is true with your blush. You want to lift, lift, lift.
Absolutely. And it's such an easy rule. Everyone can use it, and it's just universal, easy go-to. Try that method out and let us know how it works for you, because that's my go-to, and it always adds a little oomph, and it's just easy to do and perfect. So That's where you can apply your blush.
Also, for lazy cosmetic people, let's talk about lazy cosmetic people because I happen to be one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if I could get away with maybe one or two things and then head out to do stuff, I would be so happy. And those one or two things that I have actually discovered in my life that I can do is a little bit of blush and just a tiny little bit of lip lift. And I can
head right out the door.
Out the door. You know, without people calling the ambulance.
All right, so our next don't is to don't apply too much because, like we were talking about earlier, it will make you look a little crazy, right?
A little crazy.
But there are ways that you can apply, like going down the runway. I mean, this spring 2020 was all about blush.
And it was like up here and wrapped around your eyeball and under your and around your eyeball. And so that was an artistic statement.
Moving on to applying layers, that's another one of our tips, is to don't apply too much until layer because that's how you get that natural looking blush and that blend. And
with our formula, we have worked really hard to make sure that when you charge your brush, and Sarah, you want to demonstrate, when you charge your brush, you are not getting a big pile of powder on your brush. You have to work for it. You have to work a little bit to get the color you want on your brush. And that enables you, that gives you a little bit of insurance to make sure that you can layer the color and look, layer the color and look and say, perfect.
I know if I'm ever, I feel like this always happens when I'm in a hurry, is sometimes I'll just grab the closest thing, and we try products all day long just to see what's out in the market. And whenever you're trying a blush that's not highly pressed, so sometimes I'll just grab it and just dip my brush like this. And
because you're used to doing that with that.
Right, because with a really premium blush, you just, if you dip it in here,
and
it's not going to fall apart.
Premium blushes behave the same.
But man, sometimes I'll just dip it really quickly and apply it, and all color broke loose.
But what do you do when you make a blush mistake?
So if you do apply too much color, this is the ultimate hack. Grab a translucent powder and apply your translucent powder on top of the blush. Not only will it help whisk away some of the extra pigment, it also adds a layer on top that dulls it out, but it doesn't get rid of the blush. You don't have to start all over and redo your foundation. Just toss some translucent powder on it, and you're good to go. Easy, done, and apply as much translucent powder as you need. That's my go-to because
that's great.
If you're in a rush and then you just apply a giant pop of color to your cheek, then
not ours, mind you.
No, but if you do happen to over apply or grab a blush that's not highly pressed and you do end up dragging some pigment right across your face, grab a translucent powder. It makes everything smooth. And just try that hack out if you ever do that. It works like a charm.
And buff.
That was our last do, because sometimes when you're just throwing on your blush, you can accidentally not blend it that well into your skin. So always blend it and buff it out. And that's always a tip. And we recommend going from your cheekbones out to your hairline as you buff, because we want to pull like any loose hairs, things like that, bring it out to your hairline and just keep buffing it into your skin. And give it like a little bit of oomph when you're doing it. You don't
do a little work.
Right.
What are you going to do if you have a wonderful, incredible dinner party and you're bringing out your silver, and what are you going to do? You're going to buff your silver. You're going to get it. You're going to spend a little time with it. You're going to make everything perfect. You're going to make the flowers perfect, and you're going to buff your silver. Buff your face. Buff.
Start from the inside and work your way outwards. That way, also, if you have any excess product, it's going to buff into your hairline, which is going to then disguise the product. So that's another really great hack. Use your 2-finger rule, start from here and work your way outwards, because we're not dragging our face down. We want to drag our face out and up. So you could see the blush line right here and really work it into the skin. And it just melts magically, and you have this natural.
And I'll tell you one of Sarah's tips. I don't know if she wants me telling you this, but I actually copied this tip from her, and it works like a charm. You can see brushes out there in the marketplace, and they'll say blush brush. And you can also see blushes out there in the marketplace, and they'll say powder brush. Use the powder brush for your blush.
You want a nice, fluffy, big, because if it's weird, because blush brushes, excuse me, they tend to be highly dense. Like they have the angle to them, but they all tend to be very dense. And if you have a very dense brush, it's going to pick up a ton of product and it's going to streak it right across your face.
And then how do you buff?
Right, but with a large fluffy brush like this, it's not going to, grab like a giant pigment drop and you're not going to have to smear it across your face. It's going to slowly buff it into the skin. So if you have a large, giant, fluffy brush, grab that instead. Don't use something that's really dense because this is going to, right, this is going to pack a ton more product than you want.
And it doesn't buff out the way you want it to. Right. And it makes you feel like a movie star.
And you have to work more. I don't want to have to work more. I want to just grab a giant brush that I can fluff out and also use it for other things like my translucent powder. And it just makes everything that much more easy.
We like easy.
Those are our tips for blush. If you guys have any questions,
also, if you guys have tips.
Yeah, we want to hear what you've got. I also want to drop down below. I made a graphic for the blushes for each season. So I'm going to drop that in the comments below when we hop off. And if you have any other recommendations, tips for blush,
questions,
if you want to see swatches.
We haven't forgotten your suggestions about eye enhancing eye colors. There was another one that we're working on, but my 64-year-old brain can't remember it. Anyway, if you have other ideas and suggestions, just because we haven't done it today does not mean we're not working on it, because we're pretty excited about providing for you information that you can use.
Oh, you know what else? The reason we did blushes today is because they're on sale. So
yeah!
They are on sale right now. I totally forgot to mention that. So if you hop on over to Color Me Beautiful, they're not going to be on sale forever. So I believe this week, if you want to pick up a blush, you can. And there's one more product that we forgot to mention, which is the Illuminizing Highlighting Powder.
Oh my goodness.
Once again, the same big fluffy brush. Drop it into your product, swirl it, tap off any excess, and then apply to your cheekbones.
To me.
I gotta do me first.
Okay.
I know we talk about this all the time, but this is one of those tricks to getting that glowing.
Do you see the light bouncing off the cheekbones that I really don't have?
So, yes, it looks absolutely stunning. Your glasses are throwing me off, though.
Well, I'm not taking off.
It's hard to see past them. But once again, this is our Illuminizing Light Diffusing Powder. What it's going to do is it's a shimmer powder that's finely milled. So once again, we're talking that finely milled powder. So it's not like one of those old school big sparkles across your face.
Baked in a terracotta pot.
In Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a special product. They're individually baked. And if I were to pop out the bottom of the pan, you could see where it was baked in a brick oven. It's a really cool product.
Very cool.
But what it does is it diffuses, so any light coming onto your face, it reflects that light back, diffusing any fine lines and wrinkles that you have.
And if you were to say to us, oh, but I still need my highlight. I need something to define my cheekbones. Done. Use your blush, use a little illuminants, and you are good to go, girl. You know, it's like you've had professional makeup artists working on you for hours.
Now, I wanted to answer some questions. Can you use it on your nose? Absolutely. That's what I was doing earlier. I love just to take a little on my finger and just dab it on the tops, and then also my Cupid's bow.
Your eye, you do your eye.
Oh, my inner corner of my eye. Absolutely. And this is all without a mirror.
I have a mirror.
I don't need it. This is easy.
Girl don't need no mirror.
I don't need no man. And Michelle, you love the Illuminance powder. It looks great on everyone. You're so right, Michelle. This is an incredible product. When we talk about diffusing fine lines, people don't. Usually we get a lot of pushback on this product because a lot of people say, well, I'm older.
Oh, yeah, I got to go matte.
Yeah,
matte.
It's going to fall into my lines and wrinkles. No. So the way that this product is done, it's different than that old school theory that you shouldn't wear glitter. Should you wear big chunks of glitter? No, this is not what it is at all. And that's where people start to get it confused. This is super finely milled, so you can't see any chunks of glitter. But what it does is
I put it right along here.
It attracts the light.
Absorbs, yes.
And then it's shining back off of the skin, so it looks like you have glow. Like right now, it kind of looks like I have a dewy skin look. No, my skin is not dewy whatsoever. It's just the illuminants taking the light and bouncing it back. And what it does for somebody who does happen to have
soft focus is what I call it, because I have lines and wrinkles. I have terrible lines and wrinkles, and I was putting on my foundation and I was like, Sarah, we need we need something to further diffuse this, something a little more serum-y, something. And so she said, we'll try the illuminance. I did, and it was a dream because it really created kind of a dewy effect and a soft focus effect.
I just want to make sure you guys can see that it's not like glitter, it's not those highlights that are gonna like, how do I do this without sounding harsh? But there are certain
Kardashian.
They just like streak a giant glitter strip on their face. That's not what this is at all.
And nobody will even know. They'll just think you have this wonderful reflection coming off this fantastically chiseled cheekbone that you may or may not know you have.
So we don't want you to think of it as one of those like highlighters that the YouTubers and the Kardashian. It's not that at all. It's not what it's made to do. It's made to absorb the light, reflect it back at you, and diffuse any of those spots that you might want hidden, crow's feet around the eyes, fine lines and wrinkles. All it does is it just diffuses the look of
Think of a soft focus lens. Diffuses the lights.
Incredible product. So if you're looking to upgrade for the summer, you're trying to give yourself a little bit of radiance, a little brightening.
And who isn't?
Right, I know. I did not get any sun in the past like 3 months, so I'm looking a little ghostly.
You don't get any sun ever.
That's true. I don't go out in the sun. I'm not, I'm like a vampire. I'm like Twilight vampire where I only go out if, I don't know, I want to melt.
We'll take photos together and we'll be standing together and, big smile. And you won't see her face. You might see her mouth and maybe some brows and maybe some eyes.
Oh, yeah.
But the face is gone. It's like invisibility.
Yeah. See, that's why I need a blush. I need it to bring some life back into my skin because without it, I am a walking ghost.
You are gorgeous. Stop it.
Oh, thank you. So if you have any questions regarding the blush or the illuminants, these are both on sale right now. That's why we're featuring them.
Jump on it.
Right, because you are getting an amazing discount. And
money back guarantee. So if you've ever thought, I want to try this, or if you've thought recently, I need to get a nice blush for summer because everybody's going to be walking around with these beautiful, colorful cheeks and healthy looks. And I want to do that because that's exactly what I thought. I want to look healthy. Do it. So if it doesn't work out for you, we'll take care of it. But it will.
We'll go ahead and leave some links. Grab your blush. Grab your illuminants. If you don't know your season,
grab your wine.
Yeah. If you don't know your season, head on over to Color Me Beautiful. We have the color quiz. Check it out. You will be amazed what the right blush can do for you because there was a point where I was wearing these bright pinks, these obnoxious colors that I saw YouTubers wearing.
It was the truth.
And you look like a little crazy.
Remember 14th century France when the men were wearing those big white wigs and they were having like the cute little booties and the stockings and stuff, and the men wore blush? That was Sarah's blush look for a while.
This is a prototype blush that we have. Now, it's not even showing up on camera how vibrant this is. Like, we don't actually have this as a shade in our line, but these two, I wanted to bring these out because these are examples of blush that's like runway blush. Now, I'm hoping that you guys can see how vibrant these really are.
Think neon.
Like, I'll show you what, compared to soft rose, this is what you're looking at. So these are like super neon. I don't even think the camera's doing it justice right now. But they're both prototypes, and this is like the kind of thing I would wear and walk around, and I just looked ridiculous. So don't be me. Grab something in your season.
Unless you're 17 or 16, in which case.
Yeah, if you want to have a little fun.
Caution.
Yeah. There's trends right now off the runway where they just do like neon eyes all the way down to their cheeks. Now that can be you.
Yeah.
It can be, or who's stopping you? But if you're going for a natural look, everyday work, heading to the grocery store, grab something in your season, and boom.
Looking fabulous.
All right, so that's all we got. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll answer everything we see. Promise. And cheers.
We love you guys.
So Wine About It Wednesday. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Thanks for always being here with us.